What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. It is the 16th day of March, and here we are sitting at about $73.7 thousand, $73.8 thousand almost. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We've got about 11 and a half hours left in the day. We are up at the top side of this range, and you guys know what my default thought is already without even doing any analysis. I believe that we are more or less moving sideways for even the next couple of months here. We should be seeing some pullback, right? Every pump gets dumped into, every dump gets pumped into. That's the name of the game right now. A little fun fact for you. Right now, if Bitcoin were to close today green, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green days in a row. Now we've gotten close. Here we had 5 green days in a row. Here there was a good little stint of growth, but there was one red day. If you counted that red day in this stint of growth, that is 8 green days there as well. That was our all-time high finale finish that we got for the last cycle. We really haven't seen anything on the lines of 8 green days in a row or 7 green days in a row since here April 2025. And then going back even further, really it was November 2024 that we'd seen this many green days in a row last. If we close, today green. If it doesn't close green, if today we close red, then that's the longest stint. This is seven green days in a row here as well, technically. And that'd be the longest stint that we've seen in almost a year. But either way, statistically speaking, what we're doing right now is impressive and outside the norms. The movement itself overall from a low to a high, it's not that impressive. It's not that big, but tenacious nonetheless. Volatile here and there. We are at the top side of this range where we are seeing a slightly higher high. In this range that has been, in my opinion, totally screwy, where as soon as you get below these lows, that's the low. As soon as you get above these highs, that's the high. And then same thing here, and potentially the same thing here. We'll see. I want to look at the short-term stuff, see if we should have a cause for excitement, more upside to come, or should we be cautious here? I think that we should be cautious here with Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if overall we were on a path that would take us up somewhere around 80K and maybe just below there. I just don't think that it's going to be a straight line. I do think that there will be volatility along the way. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, there's actually a good bit of volume here coming in on Sunday, and then to start off Monday. That's not bad. Let's see. Volume died off a little bit, but I mean overall it looks good, man, honestly. The 1 hour RSI looks very powerful here, very good. We've got a nice upward sloping trajectory. Man, how far back does that go? Maybe it's not quite based off of this low here. But these lows nonetheless, they've definitely got some kind of correlation in this trajectory. We can go lower, but still maintain this bullish look. Maybe we do get one more push to the upside and we form some bearish divergence. Maybe we get another push to the upside and it's a higher high. Time will tell. But certainly a bullish 1 hour RSI. We look at the stochastics, they're a little bit bearish here, but bullish overall, honestly. And the MACD is bullish overall as well. We look at the 4 hour time frame. The RSI is bullish, and with that also, it's the most bullish that we've ever seen it. Something different is going on now, because every time that we've seen the overbought zone anywhere near this area, we found a momentary high. And even here, even with these ones, we did find momentary highs as well. The difference between these last two attempts, however, is that they did not take us below the 50. Every single one of these took us below the 50. These two did not take us below the 50. We held it up. And the drops that corresponded versus this drop, versus this drop, versus this drop, rejecting the overbought zone each time, the drops that corresponded were a lot smaller. So I definitely held to this idea that we would reject, but I think looking back at this, just learning from my mistakes here, because I was personally after this high, I was expecting that we would come down. I was not expecting this. I was thinking that we would go below 70K before we would take out this high, personally. But we didn't. We came back up. We took out this high. Just because we're doing that now doesn't mean that we have more upside to go. We might. But the reason why I think we pushed up higher, again, the signals were there in the charts, and I think I just ignored them because I was expecting it to play out the same way that it did before, even though it was clearly doing something different. Something different begets different results typically. So just stating that for next time, in case you're doing your own analysis or I'm doing my analysis. Remember that little thought there. Something different means different results, probably. We look at the stochastics, and the stochastics are back at the overbought zone as well. Typically, we haven't lingered too much up here. We do, once we get overbought, we come back down. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to move up that it's not much more and that we do come back down. If we weren't to move up, I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back from here, right? This was a surprise. I don't think there's much left is all I'm trying to say. Again, while I do believe we will see this rally, this move, however you want to think of it, the price continue to grow up toward 80K, I don't think that it's going to be in a straight line. It hasn't been so far. I do expect that we will dump back down, and I personally do expect that we will go below $70,000. At least as of now. The MACD on the 4-hour looks great. The stochastics look great. The RSI looks great. If we come down and we hold the 50 as support or the 60 as support, my view will shift, and we might actually be breaking out of this range to the upside. But still, even if we do make it to 80K sooner or somewhere thereabouts, I don't think that we push too much higher than that price level in itself. We go on the daily time frame, the RSI here. We've had some lower highs since the since the highs in May, continuing to build down. It's not perfect, but we are near that area now. Maybe today closes green, and then that sets the precedence for the rest of the week to recover and move to the downside. The stochastics look great, getting in the overbought zone. The MACD is right here at the 0, which again, back at this low, I did forecast that once the RSI was overbought, once the stochastics were overbought, and once the MACD was at the 0, that would likely be an area that we found resistance at. And to be fair, from down here, the expectation was that we would go above this high. I changed that expectation. I didn't hold to it the whole time, but the thought was originally that we'd go just above this high. We'd be at exactly all these readings here, and that's where we would find resistance. So we'll just see if that plays out. I don't have anything else really to say. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. If we take some fibs here from a high to a low, let's just see. If you guys hear any crying, my daughter just woke up. The 382 is at 79.8K, and it's very common to wick a little bit above that level, so that might be where we go. And if we don't stop there, maybe we go off of these fibs here. We can go up to the golden ratio, 81.2 to 84.1K. I don't imagine that we get too much above there if we were to push higher and break out now. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.